Okay, you are welcome to today's class where we are going to continue from where we ended. But before we continue with the new topic, let's go through the last exercises or the assignment you did. So I have received all of your answers, but I want that we go through the answers and see where you did it well and where you did it wrong. So allow me to pull one of the sample exercise and let me share my screen. So I think you can see what is shared on your screen. So the exercises, the one exercise was to write a pseudocode which displays all the numbers squared up to 10. So which means it is supposed to display 0 times 0, 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, isn't it? So referring to this example of one of our friend, she declared two variables, number and the squared number. So I always tell you that you have to remember the rules and regulations for variable naming. So when you put a space here, a blank space here, this is a mistake. Remember the rule says that no blank space should be between words. So if you do it like this, this is a mistake. So always remember that. Now, the next line, she said, for number equals to 1, 2 number equals 10, then do, then number equals to number plus 1, then squared equals number times number. So as you can see, now she said squared. Do we have a variable named squared? Class, do we have a variable here called squared?
No, it's squared number.
This should be a squared number. So if you do it, means you are wrong. Then we say end full, and we display squared number, which also is long because it is a 2 words. So beside of those 3 mistakes, is the program right? Is the algorithm correct? What do you think? Class, what do you think? No one has what to say? If you want to say something, please feel free to raise your hand. Yes, Alexa.
Teacher, for me, I think that the algorithm is right. apart from those 3 mistakes.
Okay. So apart from those mistakes, according to Alexa, the pseudocode is right. Okay, so here we were supposed to write a number to display all numbers from 1 to 10 squared. But remember, in the notes, we have the first instruction is the initial value. Yes, the initial value here is true, is well set. It is set to number equals to 1. Number 2, there should be, the next should be a condition. So the condition here is set to number equals to 10. Then the next instruction should be increment or decrement. Yes, the decrement and the increment is set to number equals to number plus 1. But the problem is now on the condition. Can we say now this is a condition or it's an initialization? So basically, this won't be a condition because it will not return a true or false. So the condition should use, we have said it should use relational operators. So, which means here we should say, number is less than or equal to 10. Then here the initial value is true. Now if the condition is written like this is true, now the increment is correct. But does it follow like this? So in the loop, when it is the loop, in the loop the flow is the following. Number 1, you have to initialize, initial value. Then 2 will be checking a condition, whether it is true or false. Now, if the condition is true, number 3 will be the instructions, or let's say statement execution. Then number 4, increment or decrement. So this is how the flow should go. First, initial value, then a condition, then statement execution, then increment. Because if it is like this, if now, let's say this is true, let's verify and see what it is going to do. Number 1, we have declared 2 variables. The variable called number, and we have a variable called squared. Let me call squared. Now, the number, in the number we store the value 1. What is in a squared? So it's empty. Now, we're going to here, we are here. Now we are going to check whether this condition is true. Is 1 is 1 less than 10 or equal to 10? Yes. If yes, the next instruction is doing what? It is increasing number. Then, which means it is taking number equals to 1 plus 1. Now in number we have 2. Then coming here in squared, it is towards number times number, which means in squared we are going to have 2 times 2. So which means it is going to store in squared 4. Then here on this line, we do what? Print squared. Now 4 is printed. Now because the loop will end only if the condition here becomes false. Now, since the condition is still true, now we are going to come back here. Now the number equals to 2. Then we are going to verify, is 2 less than or equals to 10? Yes, it is true. If it is true, we are going to come back on this line. Then we say number equals to plus 1, which means number equals 3. Now we change the value of number to 3. Then we come here on this line, we say now squared will be 3 times 3. Now in squared we have 9. Now next, the loop is still here. Now in number we have 3. Now we have 3 in number. Then we come here, we take 3 plus 1, now is 4. So this is how the flow will be. But as you can see, it will display 4, 9, then 16, then 25, then 36, then 49, this is 7 times 7, then 64, then 81, then 100. But you can see here, we don't have, you will find that we don't have a 1 times 1, which equals to 1, and a 2. Yeah, we have skipped this, which means this instruction was placed in a wrong place. So the correct answer was supposed to be, are you following? Anyone has a question? Alexa, do you want to say something or you forgot to lower your hand? So basically, we're supposed to declare 2 variables, val we have val number and squared as integer. Then we say for number equals to 1, 2, number less than or equal to 10, then do, then the next condition, the next statement execution, then we say squared will equals to number times number. So then we print squared, then we increment number equals to num plus 1, then end for, then end. So basically this is how it should be. So always the increment or decrement comes as the fourth instruction. First, you initialize variable, you check condition, then execute the statement, then you increment. Clear?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go to the question number 2. The question number 2 was to write an algorithm or a pseudocode that read a number, then display the following 10 numbers. So which means if the user enters 6, so the program is going to display 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, then 15. Then 16. So these are the 10 number that follow 6. So most of you, I'm coming here on the loop. Yes, the 2 variables were declared. This is a number, the value to be entered or the number to be entered. Then we have A, which is a loop variable. Then we request the user to enter a number, then we read a number. Now here you said for A equals number 2. A equals next 10 numbers. What this means? When you say next 10 numbers, do you think the computer program will know what next 10 numbers means? Because you are giving instructions to computer. Does computer knows what is next 10 numbers means? Are we together? So basically here it's where the clue is. Again, if you say for a number, A equals to number, what you mean here, it means also 6 is included, yet it has to be excluded. Okay, so now what are we how we supposed to write this program? So we're supposed to, yes, we declare variables, val number A as integer, then we write enter any number, then we read that number, it's num. Now, here now we say for what? For A equals num plus 1. Because if you enter 6, so the A will be 6 plus 1, which is now 7. Now we say to A equals, or yeah, always we have to use relational algebra, less than or equal, or we can say A less than to what? Less than or equals to what? How should I formulate this condition? How will it calculate the 10 following numbers? Anyone with has an idea? No idea? Alexa, do you still want to say something? Or you forgot to lower your hand? No one want to say something? How should I formulate this condition?
I think I'm not very sure, but
Go ahead, yes.
I think you said to A is less than or equal to num plus 10.
Thank you very much, Tanya. That's how it should be the condition. So now it will be num plus 10. Then we do what? We first print that number, then print what? We print A. Then we go to the next A. A equals to A plus 1. Then we end 4. Yes, all terms.
Teacher, I don't get how that is equal to num plus 10.
Okay, Tanya, can you explain?
Okay, I think it's because, first of all, you said for A equals to num plus 1, meaning, okay, the next 10 numbers start from 7, meaning it's from 6 plus 1. Then 2, 16, and you only get 16 when you have 6 plus 10, meaning we're indirectly saying from 7 to 16 by writing num plus 10.
Okay, so let's verify, do it like this. So, val num A, here we have begin, then here we have end. So now we have two variables. The variable num, then variable A. So num will store the number the user will enter. Let's say the user enters 12. So 12 is stored in num. Now here we say for A equals num plus 1. So which means A equals to 12 plus 1, which equals to 13. So now 13 is stored in A. Now we are going to check, is 13 less than or equal to num plus 10? So now num plus 10 num plus 10 will be 12 plus 10, which equals to 22. Now we say, is 13 less than 22? Yes. If yes, now we print A. Then A is, remember A we have said it is num plus 1. Now A is 13, so 13 is displayed. Then it increases A by 1. So remember A is 13. If we add 1, we get, now we get 14. Then we check. Now A is 14. Okay? Now we check, is A 14 less than 22? Yes, if true, then we display A. Now A is 14. We increase A by 1. Now it becomes 15. Is 15 less than or equal to 22? Yes, if display 15. And so on until it reaches to 22. Then when it is equals to 22, the condition will fail. Then we will go out of the loop. Did you get your chance?
I get it, teacher.
Okay. So I think it's now clear. So now let's continue with today's session. So now today we are going to continue with the other loops, types of loops. So we saw that we have different types of loops. Now today we are going to talk about the while loop. The while loop is similar to the for loop. Except that the syntaxes are different and the keywords are different. Because the for loop evaluates the condition before executing the body of the loop body, the same as a while loop. Also, the while loop evaluates the condition before executing the body of the loop. Therefore, while loop executes statement 0 or more times, which means if the condition fails for the first time, so the body of the loop will execute 0 times. So for example, let's say if we say for I equals to 2 I greater than class. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
So now if we say for I equals to 2I greater than 6, then do print I, then say I equals I plus 1, then end for. Now, if you can analyze this example, you find that I equals to 2. Then it is going to check the condition.
Welcome, Mr. Nathaniel.
Is 2 greater than 6?
No.
No. So what will it be next? So it will immediately come out of the loop. So this body of the loop will execute 0 times. So which means it won't be executed. So it will go out of the loop, then continue with the rest of the program. You're getting the point. So this is why here, this is why they are saying here, therefore, when loop executes statement 0 or more times. It is 0 when the condition fails for the first time, but or more time when the condition does not fail for the first time. Hortense and Tanya.
Okay, teacher, you had said it's a question when on that for loop you had said that for I equals to 2 I is greater than 6, and then you said is 2 greater than 6. Why did you consider that when we had said that, okay, when the condition was for I equals to 2, meaning that you can start from 2 up to another number which is greater than 6.
Okay, so the example was safe was I equals to 2, I greater than 6, then do print I, then I equals I plus 1 and 4. So remember, we have said the body of the loop, which is this one, executes only if the condition evaluates to true. The body executes only if the condition evaluates to true, which means if the condition fails, so the body of the loop won't be executed. Now we are going to check I equals to 2. Then we are going to check the condition. Is 2 greater than 6? Basically, there won't be any case this loop will evaluate to true. Because if we even put 3 is not greater than 6, 4 is not, 5 is not. You're getting the point. So if the condition fails, so the loop ends. Go together or tongues.
We're together.
So who asked the question?
It's me.
Yeah, you got answered?
Yeah.
Okay. Tanya, were you going to say something?
None.
Okay, great. So now, as you can see, now we can, this is why we say the while loop executes the body of the loop 0 times or multiple times. So the general syntax of the while loop can be expressed using the flowchart and the pseudocode as follow. So we say while Then we put a Boolean expression. So those things are not appear, do not appear in the pseudocode. Then the statement in the statement includes the instruction to be executed as well as the increment or decrement. Then we say and while. And the flowchart will be, it's going to check the condition. So the initial value will be out here. We have the initial value. Then we check a condition. If the condition is true, it's going to repeat. It will repeat until the condition becomes false, then it goes to the rest of the program. Example. Here we are asked to write a pseudocode which displays odd numbers from 0 to 20 using a while loop. Now, how should I write this pseudocode? First, I declare variables. Val, let's say I as integer. What is the next? Unmute yourself and tell me what is the next. What should I write next? Class, tell me. What will be the initial value? What is the initial value, class?
I think it's 0.
It's 0. So then I say I equals 0, or I can also say set I equals to 0. Okay. Now, what is the next? I say while I less than or equal to 20, then I do what? I print I. Then I go to the next I. Then I say I equals to I plus 1. Then I say and while. Then here you have begin. Then I say end. Okay. Is it clear? Oh, so this program, we have said to display odd numbers. Devin, you want to say something?
I thought that the program was ending.
Sorry?
I thought that the program was ending before finding the odd numbers, but we're going to solve that.
Okay,
I got that.
yeah. So the program is, so this program, if it is written like this, it will display all numbers 0, 1, 2, up to up to 20. So, but from this list, we only need odd numbers. So which means we only need 1, 3, 5, 7, up to 19. So where should I change? Where should I change? We have line 1, line 2, line 3, 4, line 5, line 6, line 7, line 8. Let's divine. Where should I change?
I think it's on line 6 and it will be I equals to I plus 2.
Thank you very much, Divine. So I only say I equals to I plus 2. Only there. I only change there. Yes, Santete.
Yeah, I want to know why you, on the first place, you said that set I is equals to 0. I want to know the reason.
Yeah, the program says from 0 to 12 to 20. This is what the program, the question says. So do you think we need to change?
I'm not getting it. So why did you put set? Yeah, why did you put in set?
Yeah, set is used to initialize or to assign a constant, an initial value. Yeah, you can say set I equals to 0 or simply say I equals to 0.
Okay.
And Dorcas?
I think you should change the set. I think the initial value should be 1.
Perfect. So the initial value should be 1. If this initial value is 0, then also 0 will be included in odd, yet 0 is not an odd number. Okay. I think it's clear. Now, as you are going to do this exercise, the exercise you are going to do, it's to display, write a pseudocode that display even numbers from 20 to 0. Not from 0 to 20, but in other way around.
Teacher, I kind of have a question on the line 4.
Okay.
Why is 20 included in if odd numbers? Because its I is less than or equal to 20. Yet 20 is not an odd number.
So this is the condition, right? But if we start from 1, so we will keep adding 2, 2, 2, 2, and you will not see a 20. So Reaching to 20, the condition will fail. So it will end on 19. So basically 20 is not going to be part of the odd numbers because it's not even an odd number.
Okay, I get it.
So now do this exercise. Then share your answers on WhatsApp. You have 5 minutes.
Teacher, do we send the answer on the group or on the inbox?
Send inbox. Okay, so thank you very much for your answers. Sawa. Neza. Naramubonye nasanze ari utwo nibagiwe. Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I was interrupted by a phone call. So thank you for your answers. I think I have replied to everyone who have submitted. So so basically, if I can bring some answers you've shared, like here. Here she has said on declaration, she said val A as even number. So this is not true. We don't have a type of data called even number. It's either integer, float, or something. So the initial value here should be 20, but the condition here is not true because it can't. If it is 20 initial value and 20 is greater than 20, yes, this condition is true. Then it is going to print 20, and here the next condition will fail, and it will have printed only 20. So here a has to be greater than or equal to 0. Another, sorry, this is new. So like here, this one is offset. If I as integer, set a equals to 20, great. So this should not be less than or equal to 0. So it has to be greater than. So, and others, some of you, this also has to be greater than or equal. If you have done it well, like here, this is a correct, and you will go downward. So you will begin from I20, subtracting 2. So this is a true answer. So not this as a true answer of how you were supposed to do the exercise. Okay, so I think it's clear. So we simply declare variable val I as integer. Then we set I equals to 20. Then we say while I greater than or equal to 0, then do. Then we print I, then I will equals to I minus 2, then we end while, then we end the program, which is beginning here. I think it's clear. So we are having 20 minutes. Let's talk about the next, the third while loop, the third loop, which is a do while loop. So in computer programming languages, a do while loop is a control structure, control flow statement that executes a block of code at least once, and then repeatedly execute the block or not, depending on a given Boolean condition at the end of the block. So basically, the difference between do while and while is that the do while execute the body of the block at least once, even if the condition fails for the first time. But in while loop, it's 0 or more. While in do while, it's 1 or more. The do while consists of a process symbol and a condition. So first the code within the block is executed, and then the condition is evaluated. So basically, the for loop and the while loop are called pre-test loop, while the do while loop is called a post-test loop. So while and for are called pre-test loop, while do while is a post-test loop. This means that for the for while and for, the condition is tested before execution, but in do while, the condition is tested after the execution. So the syntax of the while loop, I mean of the do while loop, so I not include the, so the syntax, let me write the syntax here. So the syntax is, it's do, then after do we have statement, then while, then we have a condition. So this is the syntax. Here we have an example. We have an example program. Any question? This is an example of a program where we have two variables. We have variable counter and factorial. And this program is going to calculate the factorial of a number. You remember, you know, the factorial of a number, 5 factorial, equals to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? So the factorial of 10 will be 9 times 8 times 7 up to times 1. So now here we are going to calculate the factorial of a number. So now the counter here, we set the counter as 5, then factorial equals to 1. Then, but here in do while loop, we are going to check factorial of the factorial. This instruction means if I write factorial, if I write factorial times equals counter, this is equivalent to factorial equals to factorial times counter. So those are equivalent. So which means here it's going to keep checking until the counter is greater than or equal to 0. So when this condition becomes false, this is when the loop will end. But while the condition is still true, it will keep repeating this. So now, here let's demonstrate. We have two variables, counter and factorial. So this is counter, then this is factorial. What is the value of counter? It's 5. The factorial is 1. Now do store in factorial, the factorial times counter, which means in factorial, the factorial is going to store 1 times 5, then which is 5. Now, here in factorial we have 5. Then we decrease counter by 1. Now we have 4. Then next, the loop, we are going to check if the condition is false. Is 4 greater than 0? Yes. If yes, do this, repeat the the statement or the process. Now, factorial is going to store, now the counter is 4, then in factorial, we are going to store 4. The factorial is going to be 5 times 4. Now it stores 20 in factorial. Then decrease counter by 1, then counter is 3. Then we check condition. Is 3 greater than 0? Yes. If yes, we do the same. Now factorial is going to be factorial, which is 20 times 3. Now in factorial, we are going to store 16. Now we check the condition. Is 3 greater than 0? Yes. If, yeah, we are now here, we have checked. Now we decrease counter by 1. Now counter is 2. We check condition. Is 2 greater than 0? Yes. If yes, we come back on this line. Then factorial is going to be 60 times 2. Now factorial is going to store 120. Then we decrease counter by 1. Then we have 1. We check our condition. Is 1 greater than 0? Yes. Now, if yes, the factorial is going to be 120 times 1. Now, the factorial will be 120. Then we decrease counter. Now counter is 0. Is 0 greater than 0? False. If false, we come here, we print factorial. What is in the factorial? Then we print 120. Is it clear? Class, is it clear? Okay, Philippine, yes, Untitled, yes. Any question? If no question. So you can see now that the do while loop, if the condition fails here, if you find the condition is failing here, yeah, it will have already executed the statement here. So the statement is executed at least once before the condition is evaluated. So now let's do one more exercise using do while loop. Let's say using do while loop, write a pseudocode to display all numbers divisible by 3 from 1 to 50. We're going to use a do while loop, then write a pseudocode that display all numbers from 1 to 50 which are divisible by 3. Use 5 minutes and do this, share your answers on WhatsApp. Yes, Philippine, can you ask your question, please?
Okay, on that line below, is multiplied then decrement comment or
You mean this line?
that one? Yeah.
Yeah, this is a comment, and a comment in programming are just like explanation, and they are not considered by the compiler. You getting?
Yes.
So let's now end our class from here. Then we shall meet next Wednesday, and make sure you submit this assignment by Friday before 6. Have a good day and enjoy your lunch.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks. You too.
You too.